All right, Cancer, welcome to your monthly sidereal forecast for July of 2015. My name is Athen. So this month we've got full moons, two full moons, one on the first. Let me go and back up here. One on the first here involving your sixth house here of routine, of daily activities, of crafts, of everything relating to the self-improvement area. So whatever you've been working on with work, with self-improvement over the past 6 months, this can be a culmination point of those things. But in either case, awareness of sixth house matters this early part of the month. And it's a very transformative full moon. I think you Cancers will be feeling it exceptionally because it is happening within 5 degrees of both Pluto, which I think you will be feeling the most because it's your ruler, and 5 degrees of Mars as well, which are both very transformative planets. So this is very transformative full moon, actually. So something about the routine, something about the health, the diet, being of service, helping others improve, helping others in general. It's been something that you can really give selflessly through with Pluto. Pluto's been helping you sort of, quote, strip away attachments to these things in order for you to come from the heart, be more compassionate, which is what Pluto naturally does, but in the area of your work, in the area of your service. It's not career as much as it's your day-to-day service work. So very powerful stuff, and I would certainly be reflecting on these things around the first, because the full moon always gives that awareness, and with your ruler, it's always a more energetic time, because your energy levels are based on the lunar cycles more than the other signs. So this is the full moon, so I think you're coming into this month in full energy and being willing to, again, strip away attachments, I feel like, in relation to work or things on that level will help facilitate this energy for this month, this first part. Now, on the first as well, Venus conjuncts up to Jupiter here in your first house. So you guys have had a lot of opportunities, I think, to expand your horizons. Excuse me. To maybe it's been opportunities. This is traveling perhaps, but it's anything that's like you guys coming into a newfound world, newfound experiences, newfound beginnings, new opportunities with Jupiter. This has been over the past year, right, with Jupiter in that first house. But now with Venus conjuncting up to that, this can mean to connect to that and to really enjoy that. And Venus naturally does rule your group sector, so it can be maybe very optimistic about networking, about friends, about group, about humanitarian things, and also home and family, as she naturally rules your fourth house. So I think those areas, 11th, 4th, and 1st, should go very nice at the beginning of the month. And a lot of this motivation, I think, motivation as much as it's, not so much motivation as much as it's opportunistic. Right, seeing the opportunities that are available and being excited about that will be the gateway of the opening to this month. And like I said, it can be some more opportunities for you in particular, for your goals and things like that. So that's the opening. Then on the 5th and 6th, we have the Sun going into an exact opposition up to Pluto. So the importance here of your 12th house. Now, your 12th house is where you're going to have a lot of energy this month, and this is the behind the scenes house, right? So in about a month, next month, you're going to have the new moon in your first house, which is about your goals, your drives, yourself. But here it's making sure you're getting enough rest this month, making sure you're getting enough relaxation. There's a lot of energy about it, though, with Mars, which I'll talk about. But still, nonetheless, working with the spiritual energies, perhaps through chi and things like that, meditation, right? And it's involving, maybe it is something meditative, maybe it is getting the routine taken care of like that, to help facilitate more of the spiritual connection. But whatever it is, be willing to make change to the routine, to your craft, to your work, in order to facilitate the spiritual connectivity that is certainly available to you this month. Now, also on the 5th and 6th, Saturn dips back into your 4th house of home and family and past, and your roots. He was transiting your 3rd house last year, and for the past 3 years up until that point, towards the end of last year, he went into your 5th house of self-expression. So now your self-expression, generally, over the next month or two, can now take a sort of break from this very stern, I think you'll still feel it nonetheless, but less so, of this very stern, energy on your self-expression, on your fun, on your creativity. And now in a place where Saturn likes to be, at least in sign here in Libra, relating to home, family. So anything that you've been working on, building systems, building structures around home. This can mean, renovation. It can mean connecting to family, all kinds of things, building a family over the past 3 years. Another opportunity here to put in that hard work and discipline into it, which I think you can enjoy with Saturn and Libra. Now on the 8th, we've got Mercury changing houses as well. Mercury is going to go into that 12th house. So here, listening to your intuition is very high. With Mercury in the 12th, this is where your dream space can start to make sense. This is where you can start to understand on a very practical level, the spiritual concepts of meditation and presence and compassion and things like this that I think you'll be experiencing. So wanting to learn more about these things from the 8th onward will certainly be nice. Now on the 15th, we've got that new moon in that 12th house. So here, first of all, this new moon is trining up to Saturn from that 4th house. So there is that support coming in from the emotional side of things and home and family and things like that. So maybe it's through home and that stuff where you can really connect. And this is always a subtle time, the new moon, where you can go within, just think about things, reflect on what's important to you spiritually. And it's not really even, as much as it's figuring it out, as much as just having stillness and just feeling your way through the experiences. So with your ruler conjunct the sun like this, it is a time of awareness, and it is a time of you being very excited perhaps of these new beginnings or new things shaping up. But your energy levels will be low, I think, about mid-month just because of the cyclical nature of this. So as the lunar cycle builds, put more and more of this understanding with Mercury and the new moon relating to spirituality into effect, into action, whether it's living in presence or compassion or what have you. Now, Venus is changing houses also. She's going to be going into that 2nd house here on the 15th. So an opportunity now this month and a little bit into next month for you to enjoy the material side of things, the simple pleasures, the enjoyments. She likes to be in the 2nd house, which she is in dignity in, not in sign, but in house placement. So here, connecting to it, enjoying your life. And this is the second half of the month is to, especially with all this energy in your 12th house, is have the good meal, have the relaxation, the aromatherapy, enliven your senses. I think you'll find that very enjoyable. I think in the first half of the month, you can definitely find all this goals and your drives and all that stuff very enjoyable with that Venus in your first, but second half, certainly the more material pleasure side of things. Now on the 15th, Mercury conjuncts up to Mars in this 12th house of yours, then opposes up to that Pluto. So again, emphasizing whatever changes are necessary in the everyday experience, which is the 6th house, will facilitate these 12th house experiences. And this is a 12th house experience which can be very motivating, very direct. With Mercury and Mars coming together, it's where our communications are very direct, our thoughts are very assertive. So finding the middle path with that, of course, but this is where you're communicating perhaps, spiritual stuff about you, or just thinking about it, reflecting on it, and all of that can be very, very motivating and very ambitious for you. So with that energy, just remember the balance with the 12th house. Spirituality is very important, but so is the day-to-day stuff, and we can't enjoy the day-to-day stuff if we don't have tranquil time. So this is this sort of to and fro energy that's really playing a big role for you this month. Now on the 22nd and 23rd, the sun will then be conjunct up to that transiting Mercury. And when this happens, what's really interesting is that right when they go conjunct, they enter into your first house. So here's where this last couple weeks, 10 days, almost 10 days of the month, it shifts into more energy, right? Where there's already been a lot of opportunities for your goals, but now the solar energy and the Mercury energy, your thoughts, your minds, and things like this are going to be more geared towards what you're doing, where you're going, what your goals are, what's important to you, things like this. So around this time period, 22nd, 23rd, I think your communications can be very passionate. I think also because Mercury does rule your 12th house, it's almost like you're coming into a spiritual understanding, and that understanding is passionate. So whatever you're uncovering about spirituality this month or whatever it is, towards the end of it, it can be very illuminating, very exciting. It can help create a lot of that solar energy, which is that vigor and fire about it. So I think that's what's shaping up because of the synchronicity that's going into your first house when that happens. So very nice. I would certainly be starting to put energy into these goals and things, especially with Jupiter in your first house, now for the next 30 days from the end of this month and into August. Now, the 25th and 26th, Venus and Uranus go retrograde at roughly about the same time. Venus from that second house, so now a good time to reflect on the material things, the financial things perhaps, and in terms of how you can connect and how you can enjoy them. And then Uranus in your ninth house has been changing your life path, your life direction, your adventure side. And so that's been very liberating for you, I think, over the past many years, even this year. And so that aspect there, retrograde for the next 6 months, reflect on these things. Reflect on your life path, how it's unfolding, these things that expand you, that you're excited about, what life is about, things like this, which is ninth house, very philosophical house. So that's going to be retrograde there. So I would definitely be around that 25th, 26th. Think about both the material and the life path stuff and rework, rethink, reconnect, redo, free up your ninth house. Free up your life path so you can have more freedom. Free up your life so you can have more freedom, generally speaking. And enjoy. See how you can enjoy your abundance, because there's so much abundance, so many things we can be grateful for in our life. So I think seeing that with Venus retrograde, seeing the abundance that is always available to all of us, that we always have. So that's the 25th, 26th. On the 31st, we had that second full moon, and it is happening over here in Capricorn. So this is your seventh house. So relationships culminating now. Anything you've started in the relationship sector over the past 6 months can now culminate towards the end of this month, or at least you'll have an awareness of these things, very much so. And again, just like with all full moons, reflecting on that. And anything that you did start about the spiritual things could culminate into a greater understanding of your connections, of the relationship side of things around the 31st. So all in all, Cancer, I think the emphasis is certainly on the spiritual side of things on the first half of the month, making sure you're getting enough rest and relaxation most of the month, actually. And then 22nd, 23rd, the Sun and Mercury goes into your first, and then here things start to shape up where I think you'll start to gain more of this passion about perhaps this reflection, spiritual stuff that you've been involved with. I think continuing with any discipline around home and family will be good, and enjoying the essential pleasures of life as well is certainly emphasized. So Cancer, hope you have a nice month. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you're new to this form of astrology, do check out masteringthezodiac.com, or if you'd like a personal session, and I'll talk to you all next time. Take care.